To what extent do you feel like British institutions are well equipped to deal with this increasingly diffuse networked world order that we're finding ourselves in? To what extent do you feel like they're failing? What would you feel are their most glaring failures? And what do you think are like appropriate, what are the sort of Pareto optimal steps that can be taken to improve our efficacy and capability in this new system? Like you talked a little bit about like leveraging the sort of networks that we have here in London, and then the question becomes to what extent can this actually feasibly be organized?
That's a good question. So the issue is, if you are, I've worked for 15 years for the UK military and civil service as, they're part of my student body, basically. Mm-hmm. All of them live in hierarchies, all of them work in hierarchies, all of them think in hierarchical ways. Yep. They haven't even thought about another alternative to the way that they've done things, because we've always done it like this, and telling someone in the military in particular that ranks doesn't matter anymore, and that a major could potentially override a decision made by a brigadier is completely mind-boggling. Yeah. Now, what we need to do, though, is I'm not saying we need to get rid of all the hierarchies. They certainly have their position to, hierarchies are very, very good at concentrating effort when in time of crisis. They're very bad when it comes to low-level simmering conflict, which is what we see, this constant state of unpeace that we're seeing, right? Constant challenge and competition. That's most of what we see is competition, right? It's not hard conflict, it's not sharp conflict, it's not hot conflict. And for that part of the low-level simmering conflict, we need to have the networks. What the UK needs to do better in order to embrace that networked order is kind of develop a pituitary gland, right? It's like the smallest sort of gland in our body that kind of controls all the bigger organs, right? Most people think we don't really know what it does, but it kind of seems to inject hormones into and enzymes into our body to make other glands do the big thing.